In this video, we will be showing how to change the shaft seal on a Grundfos CR series pump. This will include the CR1, 1S, 3, and CR5 series pumps. We'll begin by removing the coupling guards on either side of the pump. Now we will remove the coupling from the pump. Next will be to remove the motor bolts from the motor. Now that we've removed the coupling and motor bolts, we can take off the motor and set it aside. On the shaft seal are 3 small set screws. We will use a 2.5mm Allen wrench to loosen them up. And at the same time, let's remove the shaft pin. Using a 36mm socket, we will loosen the shaft seal. And to remove it, simply pull it straight up off of the shaft. Now we'll take the new shaft seal from the kit and be sure to lubricate the O-rings and the pump shaft with soapy water. Then we'll tighten this down by hand first, and then we'll torque it down. For these pumps, we'll torque 35 Newton meters. Now when you put the shaft pin back in, if you raise and lower the pump shaft, you notice that there's a little bit of play in there. What we'll do is find the top and the bottom and hold it where it's about halfway through, and then we'll begin to tighten the set screws. So we do the first one here, just a little bit, and the second one. And then we'll go back through and fully tighten these. Now that will set the shaft seal height. Now that we have the shaft seal set, it's time to replace the motor. Be sure to put it in the same orientation as before. Make sure that's all lined up. and we'll replace the motor bolts. There should be 4. Get those back in here and tighten back up again. These will just make hand tight, and be sure to go in a crisscross pattern. Now we'll begin reconnecting the coupling. We'll set it so that the small hole in the middle of the coupling has the pump shaft pin sitting inside there. So we'll begin, and for now we'll just loosely put these bolts back in to the coupling. As you can see, there will be a gap between the 2 coupling halves. While we're tightening these bolts, we'll try and make sure that they're about even. So just kind of work back and forth while tightening these so that it keeps, so that one side does not go closer than the other. So we'll begin tightening these bolts. Be sure to go in a crossover pattern just to make sure that it's even torque across the bolts and across the entire coupling. Now if your motor has a keyway, be sure to put it so that the keyway rests inside of the coupling half rather than where the 2 halves meet. So again, if you have a keyway, make sure it rests inside a coupling half. Now our final step will be to replace the coupling guards. These will have 2 screws on either side, and we'll just tighten those until they're nice and tight, holding the coupling guard on there. Then we'll do the other side, and we'll be all set.